Hello everybody, it is Adam from Adam's Anime World. Welcome to a new video. Right, so originally today I was going to do my video on what I want to see from Yoko Taro's Evangelion series that he's working on. I've decided to push that back to tomorrow because I read this news and I was like, right, I want to talk about this today because this is fresh. This news only came out today and I want to talk about this while it's fresh in people's minds, and then tomorrow I will do that Ava video. So I heard about this by chance, really, because I use the NHK World Japan app, and sometimes I'll go on there just to check any, general news coming out of Japan and whatever. So this news is not actually from Anime News Network. It's actually from the NHK World Japan website. I'm sure Anime News Network will do an article about it if they haven't already. We're talking about Grave of the Fireflies. Now, I've been waiting all day to do this video, and the reason I didn't record this video straight away when I heard the news was because I heard some conflicting information, and I'm still not 100% on it. And if anyone is 100% on this, let me know in the comments, and I will get to that in a minute. So that's why I've put off doing it until now, because I've been going around. I've asked, because that's the other thing about this. I've heard a lot of Japanese talking about this. Haven't really seen any Western people talking about this. I've been looking on Twitter, put the hashtag in, and there's quite a lot of Japanese talking about it, but not really many English talking about it, or Western even talking about it. And I've gone on the Bibliothèque Discord and got a bit of information from someone from there, so I'll talk about that in a minute. So, what are we talking about? So, Grave of the Fireflies, like I said, this is from the NHK World Japan website. I'm going to read this article. It says, original version of movie Grave of the Fireflies discovered. So this is the actual article. It says, NHK has learned that the original version of the Japanese animated movie Grave of the Fireflies has been discovered. The original version contains some scenes created using only line drawings and hardly any colour. Now, I did a bit of speaking around to some people on the Bibliothèque Discord. Shout out to the Bibliothèque Discord, by the way. I'll leave a link to the Discord in the description. And I asked about this. Basically, what it is, there is a version of Grave of the Fireflies that was released in 1988. When the film came out, it was a double bill with My Neighbor Totoro. Everyone knows that. So when this film was released in 1988 even, it was essentially an unfinished film. I know that apparently this is well known, but for some reason I didn't know it. It was an unfinished film because obviously Totoro was being made and there was a whole crunch. So when Grave of the Fireflies came out, Grave of the Fireflies wasn't 100% finished. So it essentially went into cinemas in Japan in 1988 unfinished, and that was the version that they showed in cinemas in Japan for a month. And then after the film had finished, they took the old version out and put in the finished version. So that's that. So the movie, directed by Isao Takahata, is about two young Japanese siblings who struggle to survive after their mother dies in an air raid during World War II. It is one of the most famous works by Takahata, who passed away 8 years ago. Sorry, spoilers if you haven't seen Grave of the Fireflies, but I'm sure most people have seen it. So this is what I was just saying. So it says, when the movie was released in 1988, it had some scenes drawn only with lines. Full colour was apparently added to those scenes about a month later. The original version of the film was believed to have been discarded and no detailed records remained. But the Japanese publisher that has the rights to the movie says it confirmed in 2025 that the original film was stored in a warehouse in Tokyo. Now, whether this warehouse is connected to Studio Ghibli in the sense of, is it Studio Ghibli's warehouse or is it just a warehouse? Who knows? It says the firm says the film contains 3 scenes totaling 74 seconds that were drawn with blackish or reddish lines. So they found this entire film, this original version of Grave of the Fireflies, with about 74 seconds worth of scenes that are unfinished. Which I've never even knew that this was a thing. I didn't know there was a version of the film that came out that was unfinished. It's insane. It says the company says it has no plans to release the discovered film, but a copy of the original version includes images drawn with intricate lines. Scenes from the copy include one in which the elder brother is being beaten after trying to steal vegetables for his younger sister, and one in which he builds a fire to cremate his sister's body. I actually watched this film this morning on Netflix after I read this. Tokyo Zokei University professor Kano Seiji described the discovery as precious. He said that Takahata intentionally used emphasized lines and left areas uncoloured in his last work, The Tales of Princess Kaguya. He noted that such scenes can have an intriguing and powerful impact, one that is different from those with full colour. He said there might be a link between the original version of Grave of the Fireflies and the movies that Takahata even directed afterwards. So this lost, if you want to call it, version of Grave of the Fireflies has been found, that was put in the cinemas in Japan in 1988 unfinished. It was stored in a warehouse, and the people who own the rights to Grave of the Fireflies have found it. There's no plans to release it. I would love it. Obviously, the 40th anniversary of Grave of the Fireflies is coming up in 2028. It would be absolutely fantastic if somehow this version made its way onto like a 40th anniversary release as like an extra. Like here's the regular version, and then here on the extras disc, here's the original version, the unfinished version. That would be really cool. So what do you guys think about this? Did you know that there was an unfinished version of Grave of the Fireflies that came out? I did not know this. I've got to admit, I did not know that the original version that was released in 1988 was unfinished, and they had that in the cinema for a month. I did not know that. So let me know what you think about this. I will leave a link to this NHK article about it, and I'll also leave a link to the Ghibliotheque Discord as well. What do you think about this? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time.